On February 7th, the NBA world was rocked by a new blockbuster trade. Kyrie Irving, after a scandalous stint with the Brooklyn Nets, becomes a new player for the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic finally gets serious support. The Mavericks get 2 stars, 2 phenomenal players in their lineup, and the team is immediately considered a top Western Conference team, while fans are ecstatic that their beloved franchise now has the unmatched Luka magic and the genius ball handler Kyrie Irving. Flashbacks from Dallas's championship with Dirk Nowitzki immediately resurface in everyone's minds, and everything was supposed to be like a fairy tale for the Mavericks. But now all that can be heard in Dallas is crying. Watch this video until the end to find out about the iceberg that shattered the hopes of Mavericks fans. What will happen next for the franchise, and who is to blame for this whole story? Let's go back a little bit. Unclear decisions in the team began as early as the summer of 2022. The team made it to the Western Conference Finals, and everyone expected the team to strengthen their roster in the offseason. Everyone wanted a Dallas team that could compete for a championship in 2023, but instead they practically got nothing. McGee is not a bad player, but he has now been replaced by Maxi Kleber. Christian Wood now barely plays 20 minutes per game. To make matters worse, Jalen Brunson left the team, and he is currently having an outstanding individual season. And we can also mention the Kristaps Porzingis trade, and it seems like Dallas has become weaker instead. Pressure on the team's management has started again, as Doncic remains the only star player. However, the team was still getting wins this season, with Doncic carrying the team on his shoulders. The pairing with Wood wasn't working out, and it was clear that, with this lineup, Dallas wouldn't make it past the second round of the playoffs. So on February 7th, they decided to take advantage of the problems in the Brooklyn Nets and trade for the controversial superstar Kyrie Irving to strengthen the team and bring some fire to the playoffs. Unfortunately, the tragedy is that after all these moves, Dallas isn't even making it into the play-in zone. To say that the Mavericks have been struggling is an understatement. Since the Irving trade, the team has dropped from 4th place to 11th in the standings, and it's shocking to everyone. 2 super talented athletes, superstars who can single-handedly win games, cannot even win half of their matches together. Just imagine the mood after their first game together and how everything has gone downhill since then. But as always, in the last few teams Irving has been on, something always seems to go wrong, whether it's problems with Irving himself or problems with someone else that spill over into franchise issues. But is Irving really to blame for anything? Before we get into the main problem of the Mavericks' failure, please subscribe to the channel, as it is very important for its development. Let's be honest. The decision to trade for Irving by giving up 2 good players and a pick was quite strange. What's more, Irving himself mentioned at the press conference that the team will have to adjust and things may not go smoothly. And no matter how much you may hate Kyrie, sometimes he really speaks the truth. Honestly, based on everything that can be seen in the public domain, as we cannot see what's happening inside the team, Irving is not to blame for the team's problems. The main problem for the Mavericks is defense. With the offense, things are more or less fine, but how could they not be with 2 offensive maestros on the team? But defense is just the team's Achilles heel, and an even bigger problem is rebounding, as Dallas is one of the worst teams on the boards in the league. What can we expect from the Dallas Mavericks this season? With 5 games remaining at the time of recording, they need to win each one and hope that their closest competitors stumble in their matches. As it stands, the Mavericks have a 50-50 chance of making the playoffs, let alone securing a direct berth. What will happen if the Mavericks don't make the playoffs? Will Kyrie Irving leave the team? How will Doncic behave? It's hard to predict for sure, but it's unlikely that Doncic will request a trade since he's only in the first year of his new contract. As for Irving, it's unclear what's going on in his head. Only he knows that. However, it's certain that the team will face tough times and important decisions will need to be made.